Hey, what's going on everyone? Supreme Cover here, and then we're back to look at these alternation units over here. So in this video, I'll only be going over the turn A Gundam and then the turn X. I'll come back with another video talking about those three new event part alternation as well as the build project. I don't want this video to be extremely long. So on the left hand side, you guys should be seeing the stat I have compilated. I just did the math and then also did some rankings just to show you guys where they stand in today's meta, whether you guys should summon for the alternation tools or not. But actually, you guys don't really need to summon for the alternation tool. It'll be gonna be a little side detour over here. I am on the event blueprint over here, and then you guys take a look at the items. You guys should be able to exchange for that L-Bash turn A Gundam if you use the material A of the build project unit. But that is, of course, you have to summon on it. That is. So okay, moving back to the alternation page real quick. Okay, we're back at the alternation page. So let's first take a look at the turn A Gundam head over here. You guys should see this maxed out on the left hand side as well. So this one is going to be for melee stat wise, it's not going to make it. So my ranking, I'm doing the top 20 because if you do top 20, there's going to be a lot of flexible parts you can use if you don't alternate this part, for example, right? Going to be a lot of selection. So melee stat does not make it into the top 20, but the shot attack does, coming in 9,962. So that's going to place it right at rank number 8. But if you do take a look at the word tag over here, pro tag and Gundam type, so these two word tags does not really support like a shot build. Gundam type, you can make an argument you can put that into a shot build, but you're gonna have to subslot something to give it like probably like a shot build word tag. But anyways, let's take a look at the part trait over here. So tag attribute, close shot attack raised by 20%, and then while pro tag is active, EXQ power boosted by 35%. So obviously with this portrait over here, you kind of have to run it with like a pro tag, activate pro tags to get this. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a waste in a way. So this one, when I say alternated, this one it depends. So if you guys did get the head, got the alternation tool, do think about what kind of build you guys want this guy to be in. If you just purely want that to be like a stat stick, by all means you can do that if you guys can find a better subslot. But if you guys are doing like a traditional shot build, I think you will want to use double the head, like main part as the head, and then use like a subslot as the same part to get the maximum shot attack stat. So if you put this in a melee build, it will still be pretty good. Obviously the melee power is not going to be reflected in the head, but good portrait nonetheless. Good second portrait. The first one is kind of wonky. If you're doing like a melee build, you don't really need that close shot attack raised by 20%. So now moving on to the chest. The chest over here is a EXQ over here. We'll talk about that in a bit. So how's the chest doing? Shot melee department is not gonna make it into the top 20. As for the chest, the shot department doesn't make it into the top 16. So that can be argued. You got tons of part you can probably slap on for that shot build. So this one probably not gonna be good in that department. So this one is going to be your custom EXQ over here. So after alternation at level 10, we should actually just take a look at level 1 to be more just to be a little bit more how do you say it, more normal in a way, because this, I don't know if anyone's gonna like max it out at level 10 like on day 1, you know. So it's gonna be at level 1, you're gonna doing a B pierce to A power. So obviously having the pierce that high should help it out, even though it's not going to be an S power like any other alternated custom EXQs. So the effect is going to be health recovery by 50%, so that's pretty good. And then shot attack every squad up by 40%. So this over here is going to help that shot department by a long shot over here with that 40%. So this one's clearly going to be a subslot for that skin. If you guys are running a skin, you can probably throw this to get that 40% stat. Word tag is going to be pro tag and Gundam type, so this one is oriented to a melee build. But I wouldn't, obviously there's a lot more better choice for a chest. So this one, if you guys do have any other better choice, you can skip this one as the alternation. But if you do like the custom EXQ, alternate it at your own choice, because there, like I said, there are a lot of choice nowadays. So you guys don't have to alternate this one if you guys don't really need to. So moving on to the arm, we have another EX skill over here. Max out everything. Let's actually take a look at the EX skill over here. At level 1, it's going to be doing a Pierce A- and power at B+, so that's a pretty good healthy spread over here. Word tag is the same, Pro tag and Gundam type, so it's an evenly split, so this one is a really balanced type kind of unit. So how does the arm stand in terms of the ranking? So our melee stat is looking at 10,408, so that will come in at 10th place. So that says a lot. There's gonna obviously better parts to be used. In terms with the shot stat for the arm, it's gonna be rank 3, coming at 5,205. So that's a pretty sizable buff. So for the arm, I would say you can probably subslot this one because the arm, because if you're doing a shot build, your shot attack is not gonna come out from the arm. Your arm doesn't give you the highest shot attack stat. That is derived from the head and then your ranged weapon. So this one can be a good option if you're lacking some good shot parts for your arm. So that is only if you want to alternate that. But otherwise, you're gonna have to subslot something for that part tray if you guys are using like a full 18 slot part tray with skin. So keep that in mind as well. Moving on to the leg. So this guy doesn't have a backpack, obviously. So okay, how does the leg stand in terms of the ranking system? So gonna be rank 16, coming at 3,932 for the melee stat, and then rank 13 for the shot attack, coming in at 3,573. Like I said, obviously there's gonna be a lot more better choice nowadays because they're pumping out this alternation like quite frequently now, so we can expect these ranking to change maybe later on this Friday if they decide to do like a surprise banner. That can change. Next week we're getting like a festival banner, so that will change as well. So let's take a look at the part tray and see what we're rocking with over here. So with rifle category equipped, enemy melee power reduced by 30%, and then with rifle category equipped, EX skill boost by 35%. So the second part trait is going to be easily satisfied. So what about the first part trait? So this one, if you're doing like any solo mission, multi-mission, this one doesn't really come into play as that important. You would rather have part trait that does like initial cooldown reduced by such and such number, or just general EX skill reduced by this amount, or even another one that buffs like a melee attack or even like shot attack. So this one will probably come in handy if you're doing like a 3v3 arena and then you just want to lower your enemy's melee power. So otherwise, the first part trait is not going to be not going to be too cohesive with like an overall build. Word tag over here is a pro tag and high firepower. So being a high firepower is a mix up, you can do either build. So this leg is going to be really flexible, but this one does come in at like a lower ranking, so you can obviously make better choices to alternate this leg or not. In my opinion, I wouldn't really alternate this leg. There's a lot more better choices out there already. Okay, moving on to the double saber category. So this one I ranked this based on a double saber category. So this one is going to come in at rank number 5, coming in at 10,324. So this one is a pretty healthy option over here. So I forgot to do the ranking for the because you do have some shot defense, I forgot to do that as well, so my bad on that. Don't have the number as of right now, but if you do the change gear on this one, the shot attack's gonna transfer into a 10,038. So that's a pretty good buff to that shot attack category, that department over there. How does the word tag stacks? Word tag is, ooh, they threw in for 4, so that's a automatically oof, that's a no. That's a pro tag, so that can be pretty useful if you just need something to subslot probably. What about the portrait? So with Outfighter job, melee crit boost by 30%, and then torso parts EX skill boosted by 35%. Obviously this one is going to be helpful for that custom chest custom EX skill. Otherwise I don't really see that much chest EX skill. I think there are a couple, but not too many. So this one, the first portrait, kind of crippled this whole beam saber already. So I wouldn't really alternate this one. There's, like I said, there's a lot more better choice. You're looking at double saber category weapons. So now moving on to the whip melee weapon category. So this one I did rank the G hammer in both category. So this one is gonna come in at rank 2, same melee stats, and then for the shot department, we are looking at rank number 1, coming at 10,038, like I mentioned earlier. So this one is gonna pack a EX skill. So whether you want to put that on your main suit or you want to put in a skin, that is up to you. But with these stats over here, we're looking at this one can be a pretty good option if you want to run like a whip weapon as your on your suit. So what are we doing over here? So this one's going to be the flexible smash. It's coming at D power over here and A minus D pierce and A minus power, excuse me. So word tag over here is just bad for forest, really. Pro tag is good, but otherwise this part is no for alternation as well, unless you want that EX skill. Unless you really want that EX skills, otherwise I wouldn't alternate this one. Now going over to the this one. I actually ranked this one wrong because this one is a long this is not the regular size rifle. This one is a long rifle, so my bad on that as well. Did the wrong ranking on that one, but this one would be pretty good if we just look at let me actually make a cut over here, and then I'll have the correct stat up. Okay, so under further investigation, I found out that even in the long rifle category, this one does come in at rank 2 with 11,364 shot attack over here. So this one is pretty powerful beam rifle over here. So what about the portrait? So Outfighter EX skill boosted by 30% with tech type, enemy power boost, power reduced by 30%. Like I said about this one's not going to be too good because most of these gameplay does not revolve around you having to reduce your enemy's power. Top part is pretty good, but otherwise there's better option, like I mentioned. Even though this comes in a rank 2, but there's better option up there. So this one I'll hold on for alternation. This one, worst case is going to be pretty flexible, coming at pro tech and high firepower. You can slap this onto either build to make but obviously you kind of want this to put this one on like a shot build, because this one doesn't do any stat for the melee department. So okay, the last part over here with the shield. What does the shield do? So let's take a look at the stats. The shield is not going to be too good. It's going to come in at 19 for melee stats, 2,593. For the shot department, it's going to come in at 2,571 at rank 18. So that shows you that there are better shields to be rocking with besides this one. The word tag is bad as well for forest again. That's that one good word tag, pro tag. Portrait with tech attribute, both EX skill affected by 22%. That is good, but the second portrait is like when one enemy is shot down, burning consumption equals 0 for 20 seconds. Like this one is no. That is a pretty good offer, but no. This is a no for the shield. So okay, so right now we can move on to the Gundam X, the turn X, last part to go over, so we can probably wrap this up pretty soon. So let's look at the head of the turn X first, max out everything. So we're actually gonna see, so for the head, turn X doesn't make it into the top 20 for either of the category, either melee or shot, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, so the portrait, power attribute, EX skill boosted by 30%. while close combat active, melee power boosted by 35%. So this is pretty modernized, more recent kind of portrait we've been seeing a lot. So this one is actually a pretty good choice for alternation. I'll actually opt to alternate this one. This one's gonna pretty much benefit if you're doing like a close like a melee build. Vortex does support that as well. Close combat and transformer. Transformer, you can argue, is a pretty okay Vortex for melee, because you do have a shot defense up by 10% and melee attack up by 5%. So that's a pretty standard buff for melee Vortex. So this one is pretty good. If you guys do have the head, I would give it a go for alternation. Now moving on to the chest. Chest is another EX skill over here, not the cussing one, obviously. So how does it rank? Where does the chest rank? The chest for melee stats is gonna rank at 16, coming at 4,093. As far as shot department wise, gonna come in at 19, coming at 4,386. So this one is a long shot from being at the top list, but like I said, there's better option for chest, so this one is gonna be a skip. Vortex is gonna come in at close combat and transformer. Close combat is pretty common for melee build, but transformer is, I don't really see that a lot, but you can make an argument between X. You can probably make it work. So EX skill, we're gonna be doing a butterfly moonbeam butterfly. Excuse me. It's gonna be doing a D Peters and A minus power. No effects. So this one, depending on how good the power, like damage wise, this one is not good for alternation. Moving on to the arm. Let's see what are we doing over here. So in terms of the ranking, this one comes in at 13 for the arm. Melee stat comes at a 10,147, so that's pretty good amount over there. And then for the shot department, this one actually barely made it, coming in at 20. So it's gonna be coming in at 4,230. So it's okay. Better option, like I mentioned many times. So this one is our casting EX skill. So this one is the fusion destruction manipulator. So this one is a D pierce to a S power. So if you guys read the text over here, so it's gonna fire a beam from your open palm and blast caught enemy with a shining finger. So I don't actually own this one. I don't know if it's gonna shoot like a beam, like a regular beam, and then do the shining finger, because if you guys if you shoot beam spurs, like a shot beam, that will not drive from the melee power, melee stat. This would actually drive from like your shot stats. So if you guys doing like a melee build, your shot stat is gonna be obviously way lower than your melee stat. So this one's kind of crippled like the overall damage of like this kind of cussing EX skill. What I mean by that, I'll probably do that in like a separate video. I actually just recently learned that. I was watching some other YouTubers just talking about that, so that's gonna be another topic. So this one doesn't do like a health restoration, but this one does raise your melee attack every squad by 49% at max. So that's a pretty good increase over here. Now moving on to the leg. Let's see how the leg stands in terms of the ranking. So this one, melee power comes in at 11, rank 11, coming at 4,143. Does not make it into the top 20 for the shot department, obviously. Low stat, low shot defense. So what do we have for the portrait though? Portrait, we are looking at when armor 60% or more, melee crits boosted by 30%. Infighter job, EX skill boosted by 35%. So crit chances, if you can break through your enemy resistance. So this one is like a hit or miss, like always. Crit, I think this really depends on the RNG for this one. So I'd rather have something that's more controllable, maybe some better portrait number 1, but otherwise portrait number 2 is pretty solid. So this one, you can skip for alternation as well. I wouldn't waste my time alternating this one. Does have two pretty common melee build word tag over here: high mobility and close combat. But like I said, there's better option out there. So this one, you can skip this one. Okay, the last part for the turn X. What do we have here? Let's talk about the ranking first. So this one's gonna come in at 19 at 4,076. So obviously not good at all. And then the shot department does not even make it in the top 20. So this one is a EX skill. Is it Carta Space? Maybe? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's gonna come in at D Pierce and A minus power, and does not give any effects. Obviously any alternated EX skill would be good, so no doubt about that. It's gonna word tag is get as well close combat and high mobility, a 2 good word tag for melee build, but the stat wise is gonna suffer too much. So there will be better parts to sub in for like a melee build. So this one is also going to be no for alternation. So with that being said, these two alternation parts unit that came out on like a rather older time period, so most of these part trade is not going to be too good. One outstanding part to alternate is obviously going to be the turn X head. I think that's a pretty normal modern kind of portrait we've been seeing lately. But other than that, unless you guys really want those cutscene EX skill, I wouldn't really suggest you guys to alternate any of these parts, because you have to summon for it to either get the L badge, or you want to use that material A to exchange for that L badge. Otherwise, you guys should probably hold off for now until to see if we are gonna get any surprise banner on Friday. So with that being said, hopefully this is helpful for you guys to decide whether or not to alternate these part and summon. So with that being said, I'll come back tomorrow for more breakdown on this unit down over here. So catch you guys on the next one.